Good morning, I'm Chance Dorland with your Express Briefing podcast for Friday, July 12th. Find these stories at expressnews.com and get each day's top news and sports headlines delivered to your inbox at expressnews.com/newsletters. We'll be monitoring the monthly jobs report set to be released today. We'll also be at the Lights for Liberty event, a vigil and protest for immigrants' rights. This weekend, we're covering ice raids scheduled to begin across the nation. On Saturday night, San Antonio FC hosts English professional team Cardiff City FC in an international exhibition. And expect partly cloudy skies today with a high of 97 degrees. Today, state lawmakers will examine what the state can do to help asylum seekers detained in Texas and the communities that surround them. Members of both parties have reacted to the crisis at the border, with growing tensions around the welfare of children and asylum seekers detained in facilities that lack beds and soap. Democrats want more spent on aid for migrants and less on border security. Options include using some of the $800 million of the Texas border security budget to help local communities pay for additional law enforcement and social services. Construction has yet to begin on San Antonio's new Veterans Affairs Clinic, but the facility is already costing $1.6 million more than expected. The planned clinic is one of 24 major medical construction projects the VA Department's Office of Inspector General targeted in a July 2nd report that are behind schedule and will now cost an extra $152 million in rent over 20 years. Groundbreaking is set for today on San Antonio's new Veterans Affairs Clinic. The 236,595 square foot center is scheduled to open its doors to patients in November of 2021. They set out from impoverished villages on Guatemala's Pacific coast with their children, chasing a dream of new opportunities in the United States. Soon after, those aspirations ended in a dense thicket on the U.S. side of the Rio Grande in South Texas. A mother, 20-year-old Briseida Chicas, and 3 children were found dead on June 23rd, apparently of dehydration and exposure. They died in scrubland, barely a mile from a popular riverfront park in Mission that President Donald Trump visited during a tour of the border in January. While rescues and deaths of migrants along the southern border are on the rise, that hasn't deterred more from attempting to cross, even with small children. Some South San Antonio ISD trustees want an $8 million budget cut, but administrators say that's impossible. Board President Connie Prado tried Wednesday to cap the district's spending at 89% of the 2018-19 budget in order to end the fiscal year with a $3 million surplus. But Chief Financial Officer Bettine Kaiser said there's no way that could happen, and Superintendent Alejandro Flores called it a bad practice. The remaining 4% of the budget, after taking into account contractual obligations, committed payments, and fixed salaries and utilities, along with money already spent, is needed for other expenses and to provide flexibility. In other news, the advertising slogan, "Ever Argue with a Woman," is at the center of a lawsuit involving a San Antonio lawyer. The DA's office has dismissed a murder charge against a Madison High School teen in the fatal stabbing of a recent graduate of the school. Express News columnist Gilbert Garcia writes that Castle Hills City Council member Leslie Wenger is stirring up all kinds of discord. San Antonio has hired civil engineer Timothy Hayes, who's been with the Transportation and Capital Improvements Department for 2 years, to be the city's new pedestrian czar. The Spurs have pulled their offer to free agent Marcus Morris, opting instead to sign former Nuggets forward Trey Lyles. Peach season may be coming to an end, but don't let it go out without a bang by trying one of our sweet recipes. North of San Antonio, Cowboy Energy feeds into solid country cooking at Tejas Steakhouse. And as students opt for cooler indoor summer jobs, older lifeguards are saving the day at San Antonio pools. And that's your daily San Antonio Express briefing for Friday, July 12th. Find these and other stories at expressnews.com.